Bitcoin price jumps 1K in 30 minutes to 10,000 again. And this is all coming at an interesting time. We've got Facebook in another day, another dollar in the critical hearings. And this is good stuff for cryptocurrency getting itself in that conversation in the public eye. Of course, now a lot of people are starting to wonder, is there going to be $100,000 in 2020 for Bitcoin's value? And this is pretty interesting. Of course, the question being, are people willing to bet on it? Well, people are willing to bet on anything, and I guess this is something that they see worthy of betting on. So, of course, the American Exchange that recently secured a license from the commodity trading, of course, will be allowing traders to bet on Bitcoin. Will it pass 100K by December 2020? And in basically their betting, will Mr. John McAfee have to eat his own dick by the end of 2020? So essentially they're betting $100,000 now if he's going to be right or not. But he still thinks that it'll reach 1 million BTC by the end of 2020, which is pretty awesome prediction if you ask me. A bit far-fetched, but still, I mean, any of us can dream, can't we? And I'm actually inclined to agree that Bitcoin could be in the $100,000 range, especially when we want to look at the type of gains that we've been seeing. Is the bull run back for Bitcoin? I mean, of course, we could see many days with Bitcoin below the $10,000, but just like anything else, the days of being able to get Bitcoin at a certain price will eventually be gone and forgotten and no more. Just the same way that the days of being able to get a Bitcoin for $100 it came and went. But in other news, we've got Japan reportedly pushing international network for cryptocurrency payments. And this is pretty interesting. And I think that we're starting to see the remnants of what really could be a catalyst to push the Bitcoin price up much higher than it currently is at the $10,000, almost $11,000 range now at the time of making this video. Very exciting stuff to see. Let's get this crypto. But of course, at the same time, we have to think about, when the days of being able to own a full Bitcoin are gone. Those of us who were smart enough to stack sats and reach that all coveted point of the 1.0, getting to the other side of the decimal point. Of course, this video is not financial advice or anything like that. But of course, remember, you guys got to do your own research when it comes to this sort of stuff. I'm not your dad. Of course, Bitcoin network is moving 3 billion daily, up 210% since April. Of course, the data, which has been adjusted to remove noise in certain artifacts, of course, shows the impressive uptrend in USD value for the volume of the coin's transactions and transfers over the past 90 days. On April 17th, the average daily value was 1.04 billion as compared to the 3.22 billion of July 16th, and almost 210% increase. That's juicy stuff. The fact that Bitcoin is still chugging along, and of course we've been seeing a lot of interesting stuff now. Of course, Bitcoin being almost called unstoppable during these interesting things. US Treasury says cash is not laundered as much as Bitcoin is, but then there's this interesting tweet that I saw by our good friend, we're going to pull it up right now, by Pomp, who's really a great tweeter when it comes to so there was 2 trillion of US dollars laundered last year. That is more than 6.5x the entire crypto market. So I think that it's plain to see the point that's being driven home here. It's pretty interesting to see how they are pretty much struggling to discredit cryptocurrency, discredit Bitcoin as much as possible, for a lot of reasons, I'd imagine, not up to and including the fact that where I think the U.S. government and so forth is concerned. They're late to the game when it comes to Bitcoin, and they're starting to realize that they should have started their mining of Bitcoin much earlier. One question that I was actually posed recently is how much Bitcoin does the U.S. Congress hold, which is pretty hilarious to think about. I can imagine it's more than a couple sats, if you ask me. I'm sure a couple of them probably bought some Bitcoin as well. But yeah, I mean, it will be interesting to see the potential for $1 million Bitcoin. Will we actually see that happen within a year or within 2 years? Probably not. But of course, I think long term, the potential is there. I mean, you consider the value of Bitcoin as it's been able to, really blow a lot of the competition out of the water as things continue to go more online. Very interesting to see how Bitcoin has been doing all this stuff. So, gentleman's bet, I suppose. I will pose the question on Twitter. Would any of you think that we would see $1 million Bitcoin by the end of 2020? I'd like to see any responses. Of course, you guys could put any comments down below letting me know if you guys think that that's potential. Of course, we are witnessing a very historic time right now. The fact that Bitcoin is being spoken about by these higher ups, these higher up sort of people, who consider themselves to be somebody, suit wearing sort of people. And we'll start to see, as Bitcoin continues to gain traction. And I think that the potential for all this stuff, I mean, it's interesting how it shifts in one day. I mean, we dipped down a little bit. We dipped down, the 9,000 something dollar value, and all of a sudden everybody is talking about how doom and gloom is among us. And then, we get this shoot up to the top, and then all of a sudden people are back talking about $13,000 on July 10th, and then slump below 10,000 again on July 16th. Some analysts link the week's correction to technical reasons alongside the Libra hearings on Capitol Hill. But of course, those of us who understand the nature of Bitcoin have probably been buying the dip, playing the day, and stacking those sats. Let's get this crypto. I think there is no capability to kill Bitcoin. Even the Chinese and their firewall and their extreme intervention in society could not kill Bitcoin. Definitely very interesting and very wise perspective there. Of course, Bitcoin hovers over 10K now, and I suppose we'll see where things continue to progress from this point moving forward. And it will be very interesting to see top performers of the day. We've got Dent, we got Neo now, basically trying to regain some of its value. It's been getting crushed, absolutely. Bitcoin SV, basically knock off Bitcoin. Digibyte, of course. Interesting to see how the space has been making a lot of these different, points of reference as we've been moving forward. But still, very interesting points just to see these conversations being had in the public eye. And I think that as Bitcoin continues to move forward, I mean, the potential really right now, it's very interesting, very inspiring stuff just to see the fact that I think that Bitcoin could have gone one of two ways from where it was just recently. And I think that it's pretty plain to see that the confidence is still there. I think people generally just want to get their crypto cheap. I mean, who wouldn't? And the opportunity to get it at 9,200 posed itself yesterday. But of course, it is interesting to see how a lot of these different aspects have been developing. And so let me know in the comments what you guys think the value of Bitcoin will be by the end of 2020. We'll see where these things take us. And very interesting stuff. If you guys are interested in seeing the tweet, of course, letting me know what you guys think, the sort of gentleman's bet that we'll be having. You guys can connect with us at CryptoTuber. Always interested in hearing what you guys have to say. day. Of course, always interested in seeing what the potential is and what the perspectives are. I think that this community is one of the best communities in the cryptocurrency space. Certainly one of my favorites to interact with. I'm friends with many of you who watch these videos, and I'm happy that we've been able to share such great information and basically keep ourselves in the know about all the great things that have been happening in the cryptocurrency space. So all that being said, hope you guys have enjoyed this content. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.